Well, what we've got here is an oligarchical system where we have a small group of individuals controlling the planet by controlling all the resources on the planet. So that's the big problem. We basically got a situation where most of the world exists in a state of debt slavery. Well, virtually all the world does, everywhere the World Bank has got hold of anyway. I mean, I have no stake in the outcome of this experience. I'm here to hopefully make the world a little bit better by my presence in it. I'm only here for a breath. It's such a short ride. I mean, I'm 64 years old. I remember when I was a kid just the other day. So it's a really short ride. You can't really have a stake in the outcome of this and think that, well, I'm going to achieve this big thing and it's going to be this golden reality that I'm creating, because you're going to be gone soon. That's a given, you know. So we place too much emphasis on the physical. You know, I want a big front door. I want a big house. I want to be able to buy beautiful jewelry for my wife. I want to be able to have all this pile of stuff so I can sit on top and say, look at me, I'm successful. But really it's about this. It's about you. It's about finding out what your true purpose is and finding out how to express yourself in an unlimited capacity as human consciousness, you know. That's what you really come here to do. And I look at this whole thing as a soul test, you know. So, I mean, it's a way of getting rid of the spiritual baggage, a way of getting rid of the consciousness that doesn't work properly. But by the same token, we have so much invested in this physicality and this reality we've created for ourselves in our home or our car, or you got to be prepared to let all that go. Put on a backpack and just walk into the woods if need be, because I mean that's what we might have to do. But how many people can do that? How many people have still got the life skills to do that? So these are the sorts of things people need to start thinking about. You know, what do you need to do to survive? If the system was just to go away and disappear, and you were just dropped in the woods, could you survive? So you need to sort of start looking at yourself as a human being. What does it mean to be human? And this is a great opportunity to rediscover yourself. It's a great opportunity to get rid of all the trappings of this fictional, pollutive, destructive society that we live in, and just come back to what it means to be human. So you can look at it that way. Control grid's an interesting thing. A lot of people don't realize what they're involved in. Just the simple fact of using credit cards, using smartphones, and all of this automated system is the problem. People don't realize what it is. This system we're being led into is the New World Order in itself. The 5G smart grid is the New World Order, the Internet of Things. It's the New World Order. People don't really understand how that works, but what it's about is monitoring every single aspect of your life. The smart grid is being presented to people as this thing that's going to be highly beneficial to us. You know, you'll only be using the electricity that you use, you'll only be paying for that, all this sort of stuff. So it's been presented as a really positive thing. But what it will do, it will put a dollar value on absolutely every aspect of your life. So that every time you turn on a tap, credit goes. Every time you turn on a light, every time you watch your TV, every time you boil your jug, every time you do anything, there's a dollar value attached to it. There's an interesting TV show that came out a couple of years ago called Black Mirror, and they had one episode of that where everybody, the only job they had was running on a treadmill or spinning a bike and just to accumulate credits, and they had to pay for every single action that they performed. And that's what the smart grid is. That's what we're being led into. And it's all about digital currency and control of everything. This time is so important in what's happening to humanity. I think we've been given a choice. We can go in either one of two directions. And we really have to put down the fear and realize that the choice is ours to make. A lot of people aren't seeing that. They're waiting to be saved. And I think that's a big problem. People have to realize what's happening and embrace it themselves. I think a lot of what we're seeing here, I mean, humanity is right on a cusp at the moment. We really could go in either direction. You know, with all the technology that's coming online, it's all very well to think that, well, this can just free us. But unfortunately, people's hubris may get them into a little bit of trouble, because you've got to take into account the fact that the world is run by criminals who simply don't want to free us. And that is currently who's in control of a lot of the technology. So it's time for people to really step up to the plate with this and realize that we have to start embracing this ourselves, and we have to be the ones that are pushing in the direction that we want.
And what about like you mentioned technology now, the blockchain is a real game changer.
Well, the blockchain could be a game changer depending on how we play it, because people's hubris, again, may be what gets them in trouble with this. You know, when we go to the blockchain and we start to automate everything, which is what seems to be happening, everything's becoming automated, you know, we're in danger of trading one type of government for a new type of government, which will simply be an AI government.
And if that government is run by artificial intelligence, and it's really going to depend on how that operates. You know, there's new systems coming in, which I intend to talk about in my talk today, like a social crediting system that is coming online. It's already online in China, whereby they will penalise what you can and cannot buy depending on what your political views are. You know, in that sort of a situation, it doesn't matter how much money you may have on the blockchain or in Bitcoin, if you can't spend it on things because your person is simply denied certain services due to your political views, due to a social crediting system, which is what governs purchases, not necessarily the accumulation of wealth, but what governs purchases of airline tickets and things like this, then that's a danger that we've got to take into account as well. So again, it's going to depend on how we play it. The blockchain could be good, but we've got to look at how those who are currently in control of things wish to play this and what moves they're making to control the blockchain. Not again by controlling the blockchain, but by controlling what you can and cannot purchase due to your political views. You know, what we have to understand is that by putting artificial intelligence in control of what we do, essentially we remove any accountability from the chain, because at the moment, as corrupt as our system is, there are still mechanisms in place which could be used to hold politicians accountable and to change the direction that we're going. A lot of people are too extremist in their view of this. They're not prepared to use elements within the system to change the system from within. And I think we're in a really important window right now where we can do that, and we can prevent this entire type of social crediting system coming online. But if in everything we're doing, we're failing to factor into the equation the reality that this world is run by criminals.
You know, that's another important thing people need to look about AI and what is going to be running the system, is the fact that it's judging everybody according to their economic worth. It's putting a dollar value on everything, and all you've got to do is go and analyze a corporation to realize it's a psychopath. So when you've got a system that is putting an economic value on every human life and every human action, this is a psychopathic system that will discard people if they cannot pay for every action they perform. And life was never supposed to be like that. I mean, there's a great fear of losing all of this stuff and all these conveniences and these mod cons and these little gadgets that we use. But what about being human? What about being human? So it's a great opportunity for that, and you're being put into a position where you don't have a choice. It will eventually destroy the planet, destroy all life on the planet. You know, basically we're harvesting resources and turning them into rubbish because we have to make everything to break in order to support the economic model. So we're turning the entire planet into a rubbish tip, and eventually it will cost all life on the planet. It will cost all human life anyway, and the planet will not sustain us if we continue to support this system. So that's the main basic problem that we've got.